Hello everybody, Raven Knight here. It's time again, guys. The season is coming to a close and all of the Hero Fests have been done, so now it's time for me to go in and review all the Hero Fest executions. So some of you might be wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Well, For Honor's been doing this new thing these past years. Basically, they've been doing Hero Fests. And what that is throughout the season, they pick a couple of heroes from the roster, and they make them free to play for a week and reveal them at a discounted price so that you can get them a little cheaper. They also release a brand new unique execution that's available for that hero, and some little cosmetics along the way. It's a creative idea to get people interested in other heroes that they might not have yet, and kind of entice people to try them out, as well as adding more executions to the roster, and a way to pad out content creation throughout the season. Creative idea, and I like it. And as someone who studies martial arts and combat and historical battle the way I do, I thought it'd be a cool idea to look over these executions. Now you might be thinking, well Raven, why would you do this when you already have your executions graded videos? Well, I want to do this because these videos I'm mostly reviewing the executions. I'm just talking about what I think. But with a few of them, in this case Gladiator and Nusha, I've already graded their executions. So what I'm going to do with Gladiator and Nusha in this video is I'm going to grade their brand new executions and then factor them into their current grade so that they can get an updated total score. Sound like fun? I hope it does, because that's what we're about to do today. So buckle up, guys. Let's get started with Gladiator. We're starting things off with Flying Farewell. Now, Flying Farewell, let's go ahead and start the grading process. For those who want to know, before we get started, Gladiator's total score so far, after grading all 15 of their unique executions, was a 73%. Here, we're going to see what this grade is and factor it in. So, starting off, lethality score. I'm going to give it a 4 for lethality. You've plunged the trident into the midsection, into the stomach area where all the viscera and the internal organs are. And not only did you do it once, you stabbed him twice. Look at the way she stabs. That's 2 stabs like into the stomach. This person is going to die. This person is going to bleed out terribly. Sepsis is going to take in. This person is dead. Now, here's the thing. Some people are going to argue, well, you know, Raven, they're dead anyway. This is a ledging execution. And I'm going to say it here and I'm going to say it again. I do not count the ledging quality of an execution because this execution can be done just as easily near a ledge as it is away from a ledge. So the execution should kill by its merits alone, not by whether or not it sends someone over a ledge or not. That's how I look at executions, not based on that. In fact, I look at this execution very differently. What I imagine is that Gladiator got into some kind of one-on-one fight with the champion of an enemy army, and after beating the champion, she hurls them back into the ranks of the enemy, basically letting them know, here's what I think of your champion. And then just falls there, and they all look at this like, what the? So that's the way I look at this one. So 4 for lethality. For realism, I gave it a 3 out of 4, and that's mostly because I don't believe that you could actually throw someone quite that far with a one-handed push, even with a running shove. Because you'll notice Warden doesn't back up a little to help with this. He's still kind of stationary and only slides a little. So I don't think you could actually throw them that far, so that's a little unbelievable. But everything else about this I could buy. For efficiency, this is very efficient. In fact, what I like about this is she's kind of treating Warden as a body shield, as a meat shield to protect herself, which very much helps. Plus, this is just a very fast execution, and it gets the body away from you, and she's already back in her guard, ready to go. So efficiency score for 4 there. And then for cool factor, I gave it a 3. I don't know, this one just doesn't fit Gladiator quite as much as I would like. Considering that Gladiator's kind of a showboater and kind of a show-off, this kind of execution doesn't fit as well for them, I would think. It's not bad. I don't dislike it, but I gave it a 3 just for that small reason alone. So that gives this execution a 14 out of 16, which is an 88%. Now, if you'll allow me to do the math real quick, the original total score for Gladiator was a 73%, and that was after getting the average from 15 total grades. So now if we add a 16th grade, that makes it, so then we add it up, and then that gives us a 74% total. So Gladiator's score has gone up from a 73 to a 74%. Not bad, Gladiator, not bad. Keep this up, you might just see yourself go back up into a very, very good range. So congratulations all you Gladiator mains out there. Your boy/girl made it another step up. Let's keep going. Next up is Kyoshi with Wind's Edge. This may be the most anime execution we have on record because everything about this is just so anime. Okay, so I haven't graded any of Kyoshin's executions yet, so we're just going to review this one. No grade, just a review. So looking it over, I love this execution. It's very funny. It feels very anime, and it's the fastest execution that Kyoshi has, so you got to give it props for that. But I won't deny it annoys me just a little. I know what they're kind of referencing here. They're referencing the quick draw in anime, where basically an opponent looks like they're taking out their sword, but then sheathing it so fast that it's like, huh? Did I even get... And then they get cut without you even realizing it. So, and we actually see something similar to that in another one of Kyoshin's executions, where they cut the person, and then they slowly slide it into the sheath, and right as it clicks into the sheath, that's when they get cut. Here it's the exact same thing, only the idea is their blade came out so fast it looks like they didn't even move. And I've seen that in anime before, and it's cool, but I guess my only problem here is that may have jumped the shark a little too hard. And I know it fits Kyoshi, it fits who they are, but I just can't help but feel like, I don't like it that much. Okay, I should rephrase. I love the execution, but it's not, but probably not for the same reasons everybody else does. I love it because of how funny it is. I love it because of how silly it is. I love it because it references anime. But from a realistic perspective, and trust me, when I get to the grading, it's going to really get bonkers. I do have to make it lose a point for that. So I gave this one a 9 out of 10 for my review, just because I was just like, oh, come on. You know, it's just one of those things. I don't hate it. I like it. It's cool. I like how fast it is. But as an anime execution, it's a little too anime. I have to expect him to say a badass anime line from One Piece, because that's what I'm thinking about when I see this, right? And I know I make too many One Piece references. I apologize. But anyway, yeah, 9 out of 10 for Kyoshin's. Not bad. I do like it. Next up is Shaolin's Flair and Finesse. Okay, well, this kind of makes sense. Again, I have not graded Shaolin's executions yet, so we'll just give this a review. Let's see. I really like this one. It kind of fits the whole idea of a Shaolin kung fu movie, like this kind of facing away from the opponent and just blocking without looking, like they just know your moves so well that they can block you without even having to see you. It's really badass. Not practical by any means, and that'll make it lose points when I grade it, but still pretty awesome. My biggest problem is, what does he do to kill them? He shoves his fingertips into their throat? Look at that again. I wouldn't have done that. I'm pretty sure that would kill if you puncture the esophagus and break the windpipe, but I don't know. Wouldn't it have been cooler if you did like a palm strike into the chest and like shatter their rib cage, or, you know, something kind of really badass, not just this touch you like kind of thing. Like, I don't know. That didn't appeal to me as much, which gave this one an 8 out of 10 for me. Like, it's really good. I got it as soon as I saw it because I thought, yeah, this is so awesome. But at the same time, I'm just like, something's not there, Chief. It's still great though. So 8 out of 10 for it really works. Very much fits the Master Monkey himself. But I don't know. I mean, you have a bow staff. Why don't you try using that? Just maybe I'm the crazy one. But it doesn't matter. Still a cool execution all the same. And finally, we have Nusha with Dionmu, the brand new execution. Ooh. Let's see that again. Oh, I love this execution. It is so good. That is such a good execution. It may be my favorite Nusha execution so far. It may have just made it to my favorite Nusha execution. But we do have to give it a grade. So, to start off with, for those who do not remember, that Nusha, her final grade previously was an 82%. So now let's factor in this grade. Starting off with lethality, the head came off. You can see the head rolling off behind her. In fact, let's look at that from the enemy perspective to double check and make sure. Yep, that head came off. So, head came off. That's a 4 for 4 for lethality right off the bat. For realism, okay, y'all know me. I get very critical when it comes to ripping off the head, but let's actually talk about this. When she puts the hook into the neck and she flips, there is a very good chance that she is ripping along the throat with the hook to start the cut. Then, as she dashes forward, the hook circles around and fully cuts along the throat. So, that actually leads me to believe there is a much better possibility for a decapitation here. But not perfect, so I'm going to give it a 3 for realism. Just a 3, but it's still a 3. The way they set it up with the hooking of the neck, the throw over the shoulder, then the slide. That hook has had every opportunity to slide all over the neck and just cut through that sucker. Do I think it would be that easy? Probably not, and there's still a lot of room for doubt here, so that's why I gave it a 3 and not a 4, but still, much better than some of the other decapitations I've seen, so I will give it that pass. For efficiency, 4. This was incredibly fast. Not only does she get within the warden's range of motion and moves in close to use him as a body shield briefly, she flips him and almost instantaneously dashes forward to take off his head. Like, she did not waste any time. That was gorgeous. So excellent for efficiency. And then for cool factor, I gave it a 4. This, like I said, probably my favorite Nusha execution now. It is so cool. It looks very, very badass. Just the way she uses it, it looks so intricate. I love Nusha. I really do. Nusha is one of my favorites. So this was absolutely fantastic. And before y'all accuse me of any bias, I ran this by my brother as well, who doesn't like any of the assassins. So trust me, he and I both had to check each other and make sure that we weren't showing any bias here. So I did double check. All right, so that gives this score a 15 out of 16, which is a 94%. So what does that give her in total? Well, if we have an 82% and she originally only had 10 executions, if we add an 11th to the execution score and that 11th is a 94, we do the math, and that is an 83%. So Nusha has gone up by a factor of 1. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is definitely a substantial change. She has gone up from an 82% to an 83%. So congratulations, Nusha. You went up by a whole point. I'm very proud of you. That's phenomenal. And that wraps things up. Thank you guys so much for watching this with me and for joining me on this little journey down the Hero Fest executions for this season. Had a lot of fun with them. All of them I felt were really good to some extent, some a little better than others, and some of them questionable. And I'm definitely going to end up grading Kyoshi and Shaolin's executions once I get to them. And for those of you who are curious to see what the grades for Nusha and Gladiator would be after this, now you know. So I hope y'all really enjoyed this, and I hope that you will continue to support the channel as we go forward into the new year of For Honor. And as always, I will see you in my next video. Take care.